I'm going to Austria! I'm going to Austria on my 4th study abroad experience. Hello YouTube world. In this video, I will be talking more about my previous study abroad experiences, and also I will talk about study abroad, why I think people should do it if they have given the opportunity. So the first time I went to study abroad, it was in France, and I stayed there for 1 month. It was such a great experience. It was like one of those experiences that I would relive again, if I could. I think when the first time you do something and it's good, nothing can ever replace that experience. I've enjoyed my other abroad experiences, but the first time there was just something magical to it, to being there. Wow, I actually was able to pull this through, and I was able to go to France. So I was there for 1 month, and the program was language and culture. We had to work, but it was mostly play and discovery. But yeah, we did have to work. We did have homework, and we had tests and stuff like that. We stayed with host families. Now, I say I got the best host family out of everybody in the group. We were 11 students the first time. And what I love about the host family, I mean, they were really great, but they had other students from different countries studying there. There were 2 students from Italy, there was a student from Japan, and there was a student from Argentina. And the only language we had in common was French. So we had to speak French all the time, and we had to speak French every day. And my host family, they knew the mother knew how to speak English. I realized that later, but she told me she didn't. I think it's so that I wouldn't be, tempted to not speak French and to, speak English with her. But it was amazing. It was great. The second time, and I stayed in Paris the first time. The second time I went abroad, it was to France again. This time I was there for about 6 months, and this time I was a little bit outside of Paris. I wasn't in Paris. I was not too far from it. And I got to see the real France. The France they don't show you in brochures. I got to see the poverty, a lot of poverty there, and it's very hard for immigrants in that country. So I'll be doing an upcoming video about the real France, at least the real France to my eyes. So be sure to stay tuned and look for that video. So the second time I spoke the language every day. I mean, the first time too, but the second time I really had to, because there were people around me that didn't speak English, so I had to speak French. I had the real college experience. I had homework, I had group projects, I had projects, I had to pick up classes. So it was like being in college in the United States, except being in college in a different country. And I met a lot of different people. Now, most of the students that I met were either students that lived in France or were studying in France from different countries like Spain, Italy, Brazil, and stuff like that. So I got to meet people from all over. The third time I studied abroad, it was more like a tour. I went to Japan on an all expenses paid tour. I mean, we had seminars, we had to write, and we had like language, little intro to Japanese things, but it was mostly just fun because it was not a credit program. It was a study abroad tour, and we visited 3 cities. We went to Tokyo, we went to Kyoto, which was my favorite city, and we went to Osaka. Now Osaka, we were just there only 1 day. We visited a school there in Osaka. We stayed in 3 hotels, breakfast buffet every day. And my birthday, I celebrated my birthday in Japan. And actually I celebrated my birthday in France the second time I went to France, and I celebrated my birthday in Japan. It was wonderful. And one of my favorite parts about being in Japan was the second time I went to France. I met a student who was Japanese, and she came to France and study, and we developed a friendship, and we kept in touch through Facebook. And she came to see me in my hotel room the last day I was there. So it was so amazing to see her, and that was probably one of my favorite times in Japan. I had a wonderful time. this fourth experience in Austria, let me tell you, I can tell already that the Austrians put the study and study abroad. I mean, they are not playing, they mean business. We have study materials, which I've already begun to look at. We have, from my understanding, we have class twice a day when we're over there, and I actually signed up for a third class. Optional. It's gonna cut through my breaks, but I don't know, I think it'll be worthwhile. We'll have presentations that we need to do, and they have a symposium, and they've chosen me and I don't know how many other students to present in the symposium, but they've also worked in some fun with it. There's karaoke, there's volleyball, there's a pool, there are table games like table tennis, and there's an excursion, which I'm super stoked about the excursion. So yeah, I had also applied to a study abroad program in Senegal, and I got in the study abroad program in Senegal, but I'm not going because I can't afford to go to Senegal. I got a scholarship to go study in Austria. And the program that I applied in for Senegal, you automatically enter 3 scholarships when you apply to the program. But I didn't get any scholarships, so not going to Senegal, at least not this time, maybe another time. But that's okay, because I'm staying in a castle in Austria and I'm seeing my friends, and it's gonna be a great summer. I'm excited about that. Now, I would say if any of you are considering study abroad, my advice is do it. It is so worthwhile. I mean, when you are a student, especially if you're young, you know, these experiences, you may not have them when you are in the work world or if you're raising families. I mean, not that you can't do those things, but there's something about doing it when you're a student. Like I said, it's a great experience. You meet other young people your age that are part of the group, or young people that are in the country that you are visiting. One opportunity I've noticed leads to another. The fact that I went to France the first 2 times allowed me to get accepted into Japan, because Japan was all expenses paid. So they had to make sure that they were choosing the right people. And one of the things they look for are people with international experience. And I was able to say, yeah, I have international experience. I went to study abroad in France twice. Same thing with Austria. They want students that are internationally minded, you know. And I said, well, I went to France 2 times and I went to Japan. So that helped me get Austria. Study abroad makes you more interesting. People find out you study abroad and you went to certain countries and they want to know all about it. It looks good on your resume. It says that you are somebody that, you know, is autonomous or not afraid of trying new things. And for some students, when I went to Japan, some of them went back to Japan for work. In fact, I know one of them, she's still there. She got into this program where she is actually working in Japan, teaching English at study. I know other students from my Japan program who went back. First time I went to France, there's a student who went back to France and she stayed. I mean, I went back for a semester, but she stayed back she went back for like a year in France. So it's good to be immersed in a new culture and feeling the awe of being in that culture. Language, if you want to learn the language, there's no better way to learn the language than to be in the country, and it's affordable. Now, by affordable, what I mean is, yes, you will have to pay, but it's manageable. Like, I stayed with a host family. That's more affordable than staying in a hotel, you know. And also, being with a group is a good thing, especially when you're in a country where you don't speak the language. So yes, you have opportunities to be by yourself, but being in the group has a lot of merit. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel and come with me on my trips to Austria and France. Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe and check out my other videos, and let's connect on Instagram. Bye.